This is author Jim Price, the author and creator of The Adventures of Harold from the Hood, a children's social skill building series, which, by the way, has now made it the top 100. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the importance of self-care. A lot of times I think people forget about the importance of self-care and self-love and things of that nature. So we're going to have a discussion a little bit about that. Of course, once again, I'm author Jim Price, and I'm the creator of The Adventures of Harold from the Hood children's book series. This is my third book, Fun Time Lunchtime. This is about, which is basically about exercising, the importance of exercise, and also the importance of healthy living as well. So, and I was very fortunate and stuff. I just had a wonderful time in Pittsburgh where I was able to take part in an interview that featured a buddy of mine, John, and also David Newell, which is he is an actor that was a part of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He played Mr. McFeely, so he did the interview with me in Pittsburgh. The interview came out very good. That should be coming out on not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. So that interview went very well. The production team is very happy and satisfied with that. So we're going to have a talk about self-care. I'm in here watching the NBA Finals. My Lakers won. I'm a big LA Lakers fan. So, when my Lakers won, I was like, yeah, that's right. We win and we taking it in 6. Definitely no doubt about that. We take it in 6. So please like, share, subscribe to the channel as well while we talk about this. So when we talk about elements of self-care and self-worth and things of that nature, we see there's a lot of different elements to that. A lot of people have past traumas in their life, maybe even childhood traumas that they've dealt with that they've never really addressed in any kind of way, and they've kind of let it linger and festered and have not really addressed it in any way that's healthy, so they continue to go about their lives and do things that could be detrimental to themselves because they're unhealed. They've never took the time to heal themselves or anything like that, and I always feel it's so important to, it's so important to just be able to engage in self-care. Self-care and self-worth is so important. I think people forget the importance of that. When we talk about self-care, we're talking about the things that people do to nurture themselves to be okay mentally. And when you're okay mentally, that means that you can do things in a way that is positive. You can focus better when you're mentally okay. Now, tonight we're talking about self-care and self-worth, and those are things that are important for everybody. Like I said, there's a lot of people who deal with trauma, past traumas in their life that's been unhealed in a lot of ways. And I think it's so important to try to go through those avenues and fight through those avenues and everything like that, I don't know what's up with this. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm kind of new to the game. But yeah, self-care is so important. So some of the things we do with self-care can involve just taking time out to do something that we enjoy doing just in the moment. Even if it's for 15 minutes per day, just doing an activity that we enjoy doing ourselves for that 15 and 20 minutes or whatever it might be, because sometimes we do get wrapped up in helping other people and doing so many things for other people that we forget about ourselves and how important it is to take care of ourselves as well. So that also interacts with the ideas of self-care and self-worth. And once again, I'm author Jim Price, and I'm the creator of The Adventures of Harold from the Hood children's book series. I've seen on ABC News 9, ABC, and also inside South Florida. And like I was saying, David Newell, I got a wonderful chance to just pick his brain about the industry and how things go in terms of the children book industry, how things go with that, and breaking into the industry, people, how to connect with people, and things like that. We had a wonderful brunch in Pittsburgh that was done by Mr. David Newell. Much big ups and love to him. It was a wonderful time. I mean, it was at the same restaurant where they actually had a scene in the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood movie that was done with Tom Hanks as the star in that movie. Tom Hanks was playing the role of Mr. Rogers, and in that movie they had a scene in there at this restaurant that's actually was in Pittsburgh. So I got a chance to actually sit down at the booth and actually watch or take photo pics of my book with my book in that particular booth that was a part of the movie. And of course, David Newell, he had a cameo in the movie as well, and I got a chance to talk to him about that too. So I mean, it's all about love. But back to talking about self-worth and self-care and how important that is. People often forget that self-worth is about understanding their value, understanding that they're important, understanding that they have a purpose here. They have a purpose here in life. They have a purpose here for something. Sometimes people find their purpose when certain things happen. Some people find their purpose later in life. Some people find their purpose early in life. But we all have a purpose. All of us have a purpose, and that brings us to what we bring to terms as our self-worth. When we have self-worth, of course, we understand and we have certain ways that we will carry ourselves in terms of not getting into low vibrational activities. And when I say low vibrational, I mean, sometimes we all get caught up in those things. Maybe things aren't going right at the job or something like that. And all of a sudden we get on our minds and have a mindset where, we don't know how we're going to make it through, or we want to get another job and maybe things aren't going the way we want them to. And we get caught in terms of our self-worth, feeling like maybe we're not valuable. But all of us are valuable. Everyone is valuable. Everyone has worth. And I think it's so important to remember that. Even when things are going bad, I mean, things can always turn around and go good. And I think that's something that people forget. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how bad things are going. There's always things that are going to happen to turn things around. So, I mean, that's one of the things I've learned, especially being an author and things, a children's book author, and really getting a lot of notoriety around the country and meeting so many people from so many different places. There's a young lady, Patricia, that was another author that was in Pittsburgh. She was from Costa Rica. And I got a chance to talk to her and share with her her experiences living in Costa Rica and things of that nature. It was so eye-opening. And at the same time, being able to collaborate and connect and say, hey, we're going to work on some things. We're going to connect with some things and try to do some things. You're welcome. Goes to the rest of God. You're very much welcome. That's what I'm about. I'm about encouraging people to be the best versions of themselves. And I know in my work as a counselor, I do that too with the school kids. But I think that's a lesson that everyone can adhere to, is working to be the best version of yourself so you can enjoy an abundant life where you're just able to persevere and get through anything and speak things into existence and live the life that you want to live just by understanding that you can speak things into existence. If you speak on it, it can happen. If you speak on it and you speak it in a positive way and you actually believe that, then those things can happen. So, I mean, thank you for all the people who are joining, who are watching. Once again, this is author Jim Price. It's featured on Inside South Florida. I'm the creator of the Adventures of Harold from the Hood series. My website is jimpricebooks.education, where all my materials there in terms of the book series. I have 3 books. So I mean, it's been I've been tremendously blessed to be able to share wisdom and share understanding. Like as you go through life, that's the learning curve. You go through life and you learn so many different things, and then you want to share what you've learned so other people can experience and have experiences where they can persevere and get through situations that they may be problematic for themselves. So I mean, I've been blessed to be an author and be able to share and meet so many different people from different parts of the world and different parts of the country, and it's just amazing. But self-worth and self-care are 2 of the major things that have been a staple in terms of me doing the things I do. And a lot of people, sometimes we talk about self-worth and we forget that, you know, other people will look at us too, but we can't always get caught up in how other people view us. Sometimes, like at right now, I'm at the point in my life where I could care less what anybody thinks, feels, says, anything like that, because I put myself first. I value having highest self-worth. I put myself first, and I understand the dynamics of that, and so I don't allow certain things in my life. If there's any low vibrational things going on, I can't connect with any of that. And I think sometimes it takes a while to get to that point. But I mean, as long as you persevere and you keep making positive choices and you're trying to do something to better your life and everything, you can always change the dynamics and the direction of how things are going. As long as you're alive, you always have the opportunity to change. You can't do anything about the past, but you can always do something about the present going into the future. You can always set up a plan, set up goals, set up aspirations of things you want to do, and make plans to go meet those goals, meet those aspirations. I never thought in a million years. As I was growing up and everything, I was playing basketball and stuff. I got kicked out of 2 colleges because my grades were bad. I was kind of making a lot of bad choices. Who would ever think, like all this time later, I'd be a doctoral candidate and on the cusp of graduating as I worked through, working through my dissertation. Who would ever imagine that after getting kicked out of 2 colleges? But that's what I mean through perseverance. Perseverance. Keep on working. Keep on striving. Keep on moving forward to make things the best you can do, or do things the best you can. And I mean, that's the map. That's the formula. You got to believe in yourself and make sure that you're doing the things you need to do. So I mean, self-worth, self-care is so important. Being able to do something that is helpful for you. I mean, just to take time to yourself, even if it's for 15, 20 minutes out of the day, to do something that you enjoy doing is important. So, I mean, there's so many people out here who are forgetting about self-care, and they work so hard to help other people, and they forget about themselves. And I think that's one of the things that happens. Let me see here. I'm trying to see all this stuff. I'm still learning how to work a lot of this stuff. But yep, once again, I'm author Jim Price, creator of The Adventure Tale from the Hood. I've seen on ABC News and Inside South Florida. I was just talking about my amazing trip to Pittsburgh, and how I had an interview with David Newell who was Mr. McFeely on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But it was amazing TV interview, and it's gonna drop not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. Also, coming up in August, I'm gonna be heading out to Los Angeles for an event out there, connected to the Barnes and Noble. I mean, it's gonna be a great event for educators and authors alike. I'm very excited to be out there. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to get involved with a few interviews with a few stations out there while I'm out there. At least that's the plan. But I'm just going to go out there and enjoy everything, to enjoy the event and all that stuff, and just continue to build on that. So, I mean, self-care, self-worth is important. What does people out there feel about that, or any questions or anything like that? Like, anybody could put in what they feel would be good tips about self-care or self-worth, or building self-worth for yourself. Understanding that everyone is valuable. Everybody is a commodity. Everybody's valuable. Everybody's got their own purpose in life. So sometimes, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So everybody has a purpose in life. Sometimes we find our purpose early, sometimes we find our purpose late, but the fact of the matter is, as long as you find your purpose and you stand in that purpose of what you're supposed to do, and you're doing what you're supposed to do to help others, then you'll be blessed, and in those blessings, you'll receive more blessings. So, I mean, self-care, self-worth is so important. People also forget about that. We get stuck on trying to help other people and forget that we need to take care of ourselves too, because if you're not mentally well, or you haven't dealt with trauma in your past and actually met it head on, you can end up doing a lot of damage to other people that you don't even realize that you're doing, just because you haven't dealt with those past traumas. It could be childhood traumas, it could be traumas from a lot of different things. People deal with a lot of different traumas, but the thing that's important is realizing that there is something going on, taking the steps necessary to try to fix it and work through those events of trauma, whatever they might be. Thanks for joining, Old Dog 8. Appreciate having you. Thanks for joining, Jesus Walker 23. Thank you. But it's so important. Just self-care is just so important. And I think people just forget and neglect that part of themselves. And that's also attached to self-worth. Once again, this is author Jim Price, The Adventures of Harold from the Hood, creator of The Adventures of Harold from the Hood, children's social skill building series. I've seen on ABC News and Inside South Florida. And I mean, it's all about positivity and keeping on a high vibrational level. When you surround yourself with people who are high vibrational and having plans, they're not talking about just drinking and smoking and having a good time. These are people who talk about having business plans, having things going on, wanting to develop business plans, want to have like goals and aspirations. Those are the people that you should surround yourself with. If you're feeling like you're not where you need to be, and then when you surround yourself with people like that, then that raises your vibration, because now you're going to be starting to think about a lot of those things too, in terms of developing a business or doing whatever it might be. But you're going to go in the same direction too. Please like, share, and subscribe, by the way, to my channel while I'm on. Please like, share, subscribe. But I mean, yeah, self-care is so important. You can't express that enough. Take time out to take care of yourself and do something for yourself, rather than just allow all your day to be about helping others and taking care of family and all this stuff. You need to find a pathway, or understand a pathway, to be able to do self-care and take care of yourself too. So that's my spiel on self-care and self-worth. I'm hoping some of the words that I say will inspire people to maybe look, if they're dealing with trauma and stuff like that in their lives that's been unhealed, that they haven't addressed it yet. Seek out help. It's okay to seek out help. It's okay to seek out therapy or whatever the case might be, whatever might help. But it's okay. It has to be a first step made in order to get to the point where you could admit, okay, there is a problem. And once you're able to admit there's a problem, then you can move toward trying to address it, whether it be through therapy, whether it be through talking to somebody that can help you. But most of the time, therapy is the path that can get you to where you need to go in terms of finding strategies and things to work through your trauma. Work through whatever trauma has been. It could be childhood trauma, it could be recent trauma, whatever. People deal with grief. They grieve from losing loved ones, all kind of stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of work that can be done in terms of therapy and dealing with the emotions and feelings that we work through. Thank you very much, Paula. I appreciate that. Please like, share, subscribe. And once again, this is author Jim Price, creator of The Adventures of Harold from the Hood, as seen on ABC News and Inside South Florida. And I mean, that's what I'm about. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is about helping people to be the best versions of themselves that they could be. And any advice I could give, or any help I could give to help people realize that they're special, that they have promise, and they have a purpose here in life. I mean, those are all the things. Even if it impacts one person or two people, whatever it might be, it's about words of encouragement to encourage people to be the best version of themselves, and remember that everyone has purpose. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a purpose. So, my Lakers won, by the way, earlier today. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. I was in Pittsburgh. Talk about, I can't wait to hear the Lakers have the Lakers play. Yeah, people out there weren't too enthusiastic about that, about me talking about that. But yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it. I'm hoping that some of the things I said were encouraging to some people, and I'm hoping that some of the people who hear this message will understand and maybe try to work on ideologies of self-care and understand that they have self-worth, and making good choices, good healthy choices, can lead to positive things happening. So once again, this is author Jim Price. I'm going to log off because I'm going to finish watching this Clippers and Phoenix game, and maybe I'll pop back on after a little bit and maybe continue all this stuff in terms of self-care and self-worth. Now, once again, my email address, my website is jimpricebooks.education, and on there you'll see all my books that's in the series. The Adventures of Harold from the Hood, A Trip to the Park. The Adventures of Harold from the Hood, actually, like I was saying, A Trip to the Park is now in the top 100 bestsellers for juvenile fiction and school and education categories. So now that's going good. This is my third book. I don't have a copy of my second book, Fun Time Lunchtime, which is about teaching kids healthy eating habits and the importance of exercise for kids and how that stimulates the mind in terms of focus and things of that nature. So I hope you enjoyed this live. I mean, I always try to do something that's kind of at least inspirational in some capacity while I'm also doing book promotion at the same time. And I'd like to reach out to my audience and try to give them something that they can gravitate to, or not gravitate to, but they can utilize in their everyday lives, because I can understand the struggles of trying to find self-worth, self-care. I know how that can be when you're trying to work through traumas, whatever else it is. But I mean, it's very possible to do it, and as long as you speak it into existence and you keep trying to follow the path that's positive, you can make anything happen. Thanks for joining. I couldn't read the names, but thank you for joining. So, I mean, I'm going to check in later. I'm about to see my Lakers won today, and I'm all happy about that. But once again, this is author Jim Price, creator of The Adventures of Harold from the Hood children's book series, social skill building series. That's seen on ABC News and on BBC News in the UK. Yeah. So it's just so wonderful to touch base with so many wonderful people in the book industry, authors from all over the country, all over the world. I just am so blessed to have the opportunity to meet so many wonderful people. So I hope my words of encouragement help somebody out there. And, just do what you have to do. Stay positive, stay positive, do the things you need to do, make healthy, good choices with your life, and good things will happen in return. All right? Cheers. And I'll check on you guys later. Peace.